So tell me why you're back up on Madeline Island in northern Wisconsin again.
Well, I came up here because it's our homeland. I live this here, and I always feel better. I come here, I gotta come in here and put my tobacco out, do some prayers, you know.
What do you know about the island? What do you got going up here so far? You've acquired some lands?
Yeah, so I came up to get myself centered a little bit, but I'm in the middle of trying to reestablish the LaDuke family homesteads here, in keeping with our ancestors who lived up here. And so on Middle Road, we got a couple lots. We got one on the on each side of the road. One is a little encumbered. I got to get an archaeologist out here, most hopefully from Red Cliff, to take a look at it to make sure that everything is good. And we have a wigwam on that, and I was going to build a tree house that didn't get built yet. And then then I have another lot on the other side which has a trail on it. So mostly
wigwam is what you call a timeshare.
The timeshare wigwam.
If you come up and volunteer some time cleaning up, fixing things and all that, you are semi-welcome as long as we know who you are or what kind of a thing. It's like it should be a friend.
Try to straighten it up a little bit. But if you need a place to stay, because I get sad. I want to see Ojibwe spending the night on the island, not having to leave because they don't have a place to stay. And almost every person I've talked to, they're like, I can't come because I don't have a place to stay. And I think that's super sad and tragic. And so I'd like to establish a place where Ojibways of good intent can come and be able to come in and have a little place to stay.
So we have Bad River that has the fishing camp. Well, actually the La Pointe Bend has the fishing camp on the north end. We understand that...
Shh, you guys, you need to settle down for a minute, okay?
We understand the Bad River acquired 25 acres of land.
Yeah.
You've acquired some land up here, and tell me what happened yesterday. You went to dedication, and what do you think about this dedication?
Yesterday was one of the proudest days of my life. I have to say that, because here is our sacred island, and when you walk up here, and I liked Mike Wiggins' description, you feel invisible because they're looking at you and they don't get who you are. You're a brown person walking around up here, and they act as if the Ojibwe are invisible up here. And they act as if they don't know what this place is to us. And so it's this process of making sure that the non-Indian people that come here understand this place for us. And then also that we have the ability to return. And
what some of the local residents did was...
That is right. So Nick Nelson and local residents themselves did this. They established bilingual signs, and they printed up a whole bunch of really great-looking signs that are in Ojibwe.
When I used to come over to Madeline Island, I used to send my mind there, almost trying to almost feeling like I was invisible, like an old Indian that nobody could see. But I'll tell you what. The Ojibwe language on those signs is going to jar the mind, and that acknowledgement is a beautiful thing, and I want to thank you guys for doing that for our communities, doing that for our people.
I really hope that this will be only a first step, again, in just bringing this back in a small way, but that it will encourage this to go much further, to continue to grow. In a twist, this island for a very long time, as we've talked about many times today, was a center for Ojibwe and Anishinaabe people. There was a village stretching 2 miles across, 3 miles deep, massive village here for a very long time. And then through a transition that people moved away from this island, we got to the point where there was, I think I could count at one point, only 1 or 2 people of any kind of Ojibwe descent on the island. And now that's started to change and go the other direction, and it's really good to see people coming home, returning here, and bringing that culture and that respect and that way of life back to this place, because that's an important part of that complete circle of being that is this place. Winona recently wrote a really cool article. It's online on In These Times, kind of about that, coming home to Madeline Island. So I just wanted to really make sure to give that proper thanks to our singers as well. Thank you guys.
Interesting, because he said I didn't want them to all be no signs about saying no. There's a lot of signs.
Don't cross here.
Don't cross here. Don't
go
park
there.
here. There's a lot of no in.
Going.
And so instead, he said, place names, and sometimes it was names that, like,
well, gida minikago Muniwanakaning. Welcome to
the island.
Yeah,
right.
The island where the flickers reside.
And what's it? Anamiki we bug. That was for
poison ivy.
Poison ivy, which would be a good thing to know.
Which there's plenty of on this island. And okay, so they did a dedication of signs in the Ojibwe language, and it's great, and people are beginning to feel welcome. How does that all fit in together with your battle for self-sufficiency and against the fossil fuel industry? And I'm only going to give you a minute and a half to respond.
Well, we need to value, and we do value what we have, what's our culture, what is local. There's a lot of things that come from everywhere else, but it turns out that the Creator gave us a pretty good gig. It's right here. You got sugar, comes from a tree. You got fish that come from a lake. You got rice that comes from a lake. What more could you want? You need a local food economy. You need local energy. And this island represents that to me.
I heard one time that this island was self-sufficient after the Europeans came, for example, up until the 1970s, but historically you would have thought that this island produced a lot. What's the history of it? Let's take you back 150, 200 years from right now. What's going on here?
Well, this time of year, I think there'd be a heck of a lot of berry, mushroom, fern, medicinal plant collecting up here on this island. This is, we're talking right now at the end of June. Strawberries are in. So we'll be doing a lot of harvesting, just preparing to get your bulrushes. You would have picked your birch bark, done a lot of birch bark making. You probably would have got a lot of your cedar, some of your cedar, but definitely your black ash, some of that. And then you're about to move into your bulrushes. I don't know if they got them on the side of the lake here, but that's what they make mats out of. Right now, before the tide starts going down, is when you want to harvest them. So you'd be doing that, and continuing to fish, start drying your fish, putting your gardens in, so you got a good quality garden, and then making sure you got a dang good lacrosse game going.
From one end of the island to the other.
To the other, and wagering pretty heavily on it. I heard there's some heavy wagers. There's some tickling going on in the background. I just want everybody to know that.
It's uncontrolled tickling. Kids.
It looks like the Gascos and the Buckanagas are at it over there.
All right. Well, is that a traditional feud that started on Madeline Island about 300 years ago?
The Gascos and the Buckanagas.
All the way to White Earth, Leech Lake, and everything, and back here.
We had 2 or 3 nations represented back there, and they are going at it.
Okay, so if some indigenous person wants to come to the island, what would you say?
Come on over. Let's be present. Everybody see our faces, see how beautiful we are, and be the beautiful people we're supposed to be.
All right, miigwech.
Good.